Welcome to What's on the Bench. Today we've got a Gretsch 6122 Junior, which kind of looks a little bit like it's kind of like a wider bodied, or like a thicker Gibson Les Paul Junior, doesn't it? Which is kind of cool. I like it in the brown with the gold hardware. Obviously, it's sort of tarnished. I believe this is a Japanese-made one, so these are very well made. I don't know exactly what year, but this is owned by a good friend of mine, very good songwriter, very good friend, Mr. John Wordsworth. And yeah, he's had this guitar for quite a while, and instead of moving it on, he thought, you know what, I'll kind of update it a little bit, put some better pickups in it, put some nice pots. So we're sorting it out, giving it a setup, doing a bit of work. He's bought some brand new TV Jones pickups. I don't think the ones in the Japanese guitars were terribly bad, but I think that's the only, if there is a bad point to them, I think the only thing is the electronics aren't quite as nice as they could be. Let's put it that way. So we're going to put in some brand new CTS pots, and like I say, he's bought some TV Jones pickups to go in. But this is a cool guitar. He showed me this guitar a couple of years ago, and yeah, it really suits him. Although I had a false memory. I had a weird Mandela effect moment where I could have sworn it wasn't double cut. It was just single, and I just had it in my mind because I hadn't seen it for a while. And then he brought it to me because he wanted this work doing, and it was a double cut. And I was like, has it always been a double cut? Has it always been a double cut? Turns out it has. I don't think he uses the Bigsby, as you can see with the verdigris. But yeah, it'd be interesting. It's always fun trying to clean gold because it basically, you look at it and it rubs off. It's a beautiful playing guitar. So this is I suppose technically this is a What's on the Bench before. Maybe we'll do an after. Maybe I should just quickly plug it into something so you can hear what it sounds like as a bit of a test. The other cool thing about Gretsch which is, I don't know why more people don't do this, but do you know about that? So they have screws already in them, so you can screw your strap straight to the body instead of having like locking ones. They kind of like predate locking, so that's not going to go anywhere. Locking strap buttons. So yeah, that's really cool. Really cool bit of kit. Like I say, the Japanese Gretches, they fetch a fair bit of money. I think they're still made in Japan as well. There's also a custom shop, because I think Gretsch is owned by Fender, which is pretty ironic really, because they're the ones that originally sent a cease and desist letter to Leo Fender for the name Broadcaster, because Gretsch had a drum kit called the Broadcaster, and they didn't, so they sent them a cease and desist letter, which is really funny because now Gretsch is owned by Fender. So I suppose if they wanted to, because they probably own all the patents and all the naming, they could probably call the Telecaster the Broadcaster, but everyone knows it's the Telecaster these days. So, and when I mean these days, I mean the last 60 years. Yeah, Gretsch are one of those brands that, a bit like Rickenbacker, Gretsch, maybe. I'm trying to think of like another big brand that's a little bit like second tier in the fact that not many people play them, but a few people play them. Like, there's still a high-end guitar. Like, I think Rickenbackers were the same price, or if not more, than Gibsons back in the day. They weren't cheap guitars, you know what I mean?
They're always the ones that I think of. Like,
yeah, Gretsch, Rickenbacker, like, because the main are like Gibson, Fender,
yeah,
Martin, blah blah blah. But especially the old brands, Gretsch are kind of that slightly not as played as much, I suppose.
Was it the Chet Atkins that Gretsch did as well?
Yeah,
because that was a gorgeous guitar.
Yeah. The Chet Atkins model back in the 60s. Apparently, not to dissuade you from buying vintage Gretches, but apparently the vintage ones are cool to look at, and they sound cool, but apparently they play like crap. That's what I've heard anyway. Apparently they're fun to own, and it's nice to own them because they're vintage, but the modern ones, and especially the custom shop ones, are way better guitars. And I don't know if that's true of all the guys that play them, is they have vintage ones and then they use the modern ones when they're actually gigging live. But yeah, apparently they're not very good players. But at the end of the day, they were a drum manufacturer first, right? Is that true?
I think so. I've no idea, to be honest. I know they did both, because obviously Gretsch are really well known for their drums.
Yeah, but I think they were a drum company first, and then they did guitars on the side. I'm not the Gretsch historian, so don't come at me.
They've done both pretty well.
Yeah. And the one thing, though, if nothing else, the thing that's on a Gretsch that should be on every other guitar as well is a master volume. That's what that is there. Yeah. And I think a master volume is such a good idea. You've got your different volumes and tones, but to have a master as well is just really, really smart. I mean, I suppose if you want to kill stuff, you can make sure that you're either one pickup's on and then you flick it off.
But you can maintain like the blend between the two pickups.
Exactly. I think, just for having, and also it being there, it's just so
much easier.
No, it's not going to get in the way of your hand, because your hand's normally going that way. No one's really strumming here, are they? Either picking down this end or playing up near the neck. So yeah, I think that's a brilliant invention, and it should be on way more guitars. But there you go. But if nothing else, and that's like the smallest contribution to electric guitars, but
it's a good one.
It's a good one. It's a good usable thing.
I think as well, it's probably worth mentioning, like, changing pickups out is something that we do pretty regularly in the
Jacob makes a fair point. We should plug the fact that we repair. I mean,
I'm literally in the process of doing it now. Hey, John.
Look. I'll go into QVC mode.
Whoa.
So this is a good customer of ours, John. He's put a parts caster together, and he's basically got us to do the last sort of 10% of it, I suppose.
Yeah, but there was an issue in the neck pickup, which I have no shame in telling you baffled me for a couple of days, until I realised that the ground wire actually wasn't attached in the pickup. So that very fine bit that comes off the pickup wasn't actually attached to the rivet. So we had to take her all apart. And one little feature with this guitar is that you actually can't get under the scratch plate unless you've removed the neck. So I had to take the whole thing apart just to fix that one little bit. But we've done a very fine soldering job, put it back together, and fingers crossed, she will play.
And rewired it as well, right?
Yeah, rewired, just so that it's got like the normal standard telly.
Because this was John's first guitar, so he'd done a good job for his first try. He's
done an awesome job of
putting all the copper tape in the cavities and stuff. But yeah, his wiring needed to be sort of sorted out a little bit, but that's fine.
And we put the tuners on the pair, tuning pegs on the neck as well, even, and a couple of other little bits. But MJT body, Fender Japan neck, gorgeous combination.
Yeah, and like I think this is like a hot rail, and I think is this a Fender as well? I don't know. It's a decent. He's bought all really decent and really good parts, so it stands to reason that it should be a good guitar when it's back together. Cool. Really nice weight on this, and it's got a chamfer on it. It's also got a belly cut, so it's a bit more modern. It's not like a classic telly where it's all squared off, and you can't play them forever because they start rubbing against your arm. Obviously, not like a telly. Not like a Stratocaster. So yeah, Jacob's right. We do all this kind of stuff, which you should come in and talk with us, or drop off 1, 2, or 10 guitars, and we can start working on them. So that's one that we've been doing. Obviously, John's Gretsch is the other one that we will be doing, probably starting next week. We're shooting this on a Thursday, so we'll probably start on... Edit that out. So this is John's guitar. We're going to start this on Tuesday. So next week we're shooting this on a Thursday. We've got John's two Johns. The two Johns. We're using John's Telecaster, which we'll finish today, and then we'll get started on this next week. I don't know what more there is to say. I suppose come and check out once we've done the work. We'll maybe do a before and after. But I'll get Jacob to shoot a bit of B-roll, look at the neck, look at the all the patina and stuff, and then maybe we'll do a before and after in the next video. Yeah, if I stand it up for you,
I'll do a little bit.
take a look at it.
Yeah, man.
While Jacob's showing off the guitar,
I get it focused. There you go.
please remember to like and subscribe and all that stuff. And come into the shop and see us. Come and say hello. But yeah, like and subscribe. We have got an Instagram and Facebook. I know Facebook's a bit old and antiquated these days, so give us a follow on Instagram. We normally put up different things that we're selling, or little things on our stories, bits of things that we're working on, and we're updating it as much as we can. Obviously, give us a subscribe if you watch these videos. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're at almost 100, and we've not been doing it very long, a couple of months. But yeah, any support is very much welcome. And so yeah, send it around your friends and let people know about Intersound guitars. Anyway, that's a What's on the Bench. See you again for another one, or an Off the Hook, or whatever crazy video we've got coming up. Yeah, nice one, guys. See you soon.